Hi folks, welcome to another episode of the Ninjutsu podcast. I'm your host Don Rowley. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about Gyokushin. Basically this came up because at the end of April, the last weekend of April, I'm going to be teaching Jojutsu and knife in the manner of Gyokushin with my friend Lee out in Maryland the last weekend of April. And so people are kind of wondering about Gyokushin and stuff like that. And I want to emphasize this is going to be like the movement style, not kata or techniques from Gyokushin. Basically it comes down to, in the year of Koppojutsu, Hatsumi Sensei would send out two Japanese shihan to do kata from Kotoru, which is Koppojutsu, and then he would come up and say, this is how we would do the same thing in Gikan-ryu, and this is how we would do it in Gyokushin-ryu. And I went to a lot of classes, I took a lot of good notes, I did a lot of practicing, and it's kind of like, yeah, there's certain movements that I associate with Gyokushin-ryu. And Gyokushin-ryu, compared to a lot of other stuff we do, is very close in. It's more moving around your spine than taking a lot of steps out of the way. A friend of mine called, said, what was the feeling like? I said, it's kind of like fighting a rabid wolverine in a telephone booth. It's close in, you don't have much place to move. In fact, a friend and I, we got into a sparring session in a former Soviet sub. We were taking a tour and we realized, oh, nobody's around here. You want to spar? Oh, that'd be so cool. And I realized I'm using a lot of the Gyokushin stuff when he's trying to like slap me upside the head, instead of Kotoru or Takagi Yoshin or anything like that. So that's it. I want to say, a lot of people translate Gyokushin as the jeweled heart school. Based on my experience, my feeling is that's not a good translation. Better translation is like the essence of the spiral. Again, heart, essence, same thing. You gotta understand, the Japanese did not deal with rubies and emeralds and stuff like that. What they called jewels back in the day, you could look it up, magatama. I'm going to try to put a picture of it as the thumbnail for this video. But basically it's like a jade, I think it's jade, but they always made it into like a kama-like thing, on pendants or necklaces. So it's like a kama. So it's kind of like a spiral. And if you look at some of the techniques from stemiwas and stuff like that, it kind of makes a lot of sense, the essence of the spiral, rather than thinking of jeweled heart. It just makes sense. But there's a question, so why don't we see more things like Gyokushin? Well, as I said, you're not really moving a lot compared to other schools. And I think, well, two things. One, I think we've got enough on our plate in the Bujinkan already. I mean, have we mastered Takagi Yoshin? Have we mastered Shingen Fudo? I mean, there's if you say you did, I don't believe you. I think we still got things down. And I think it's kind of a case of we're supposed to, if we can, get offline of an attack. If we have to, again, there's other things. Sometimes we can't move offline. But if someone's throwing a punch or coming at you with a sword, get offline. Move your body. And I think that if we did too much stuff like Gyokushin, that people would lose the habit of getting offline, avoiding attacks. A couple of weeks ago, I noticed that one of my students had been with me for years. He was doing, I was doing a variation of Ichimonji no Kamae, and after that, you do something to the back of his head and elbow. And he was just knocking the punch offline. He wasn't getting offline. And that's my bad. I'm his teacher. I should have taught him better. But we're going to work on that. But again, Gyokushin is for times that you can't move offline. And the problem is that it's kind of like, rattlesnake stupid. I mean, I can't get out of here because, I can't get out of here. I'm in danger. And that's what rattlesnakes do. I mean, they just stand there. Instead of trying to get away from you, they stay there. It's like, can't you get out of my way? So yeah, people will be like, trying to just do this too much rather than get offline if they can. So that's why I don't think we see too much of Gikan-ryu, Gyokushin-ryu, etc. It's specialized, but the best line of defense is not be there when the punch arrives. And that's just it. So again, and these movements, when you're getting in close with a knife, yeah, the Gyokushin style stuff really lends itself well. So it's basically just what I learned in there, put a knife in my hand and choppy, 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 choppy. But that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.